What is up, Mav fans and hoop heads? Wish everyone good vibes out there. I'm AG, your host. Welcome on into another episode of Mavs Rundown. Appreciate you all for listening. And man, oh man, do you join me on a good night, because the Mavs go into Brooklyn and beat them in overtime, 129 to 125 in a classic thriller. This game was awesome because we go against, say what you want about the Brooklyn Nets, but they still have two superstar talents on their team, and Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, who themselves, respectively, Kyrie dropped 39 tonight, and Kevin Durant dropped 37, and Mavericks still got the victory. So that's saying something right there. Again, say what you want about their team, but still, when they're two superstars, if they get hot, man, it's really tough to beat them. And tonight was a night where we beat them, even though they were hitting their shots. They were doing, Kyrie and Kevin Durant things, and the Mavs are able to pull out the victory as I drop my drink. And, man, the leader tonight, game ball, obviously goes to Luka Doncic with 40. He put up a 41 burger. Hey, 41, you already know, Dirk tribute. His best Dirk tribute, and a 41-point effort, 11 rebounds, and 14 assists. Just doing awesome. And you want to tack on the 3 steals. He also had great stuff. Tonight, 11 of 13 from the free throw line. I need to look up what his he's doing great so far this year on free throws. I need to look up his free throw percentage. It is 87% this year. 87%, guys. Like, this guy, he's doing really good this year on free throws. He's definitely improved on that. I mean, it's obviously small sample size, but still, he definitely looks like he's improved and worked on his free throw, just getting it down pat every single time. And he's basically like the star of the game. I mean, he kept us in. He did great. 13 free throws, as I said, 11 to 13. Good stuff there. And this game, man, honestly, the first half, I had to take the kids that had trunk or treat. And for those who don't know that, it's a thing school throws. It's like a little trick or treat thing, but except for it's in the trunk of people's cars. They just line up in the parking lot and you just go trunk to trunk getting candy. And since it's at school, you got to do some math or whatever. But yeah, so I take the kiddos do this. I missed kind of the first time watching on my phone, and so I didn't get the full experience to get to pay attention to every single thing going on. But I was able to get home by the second half, which honestly I guess they ended up working out for me because that was all what we needed to watch. I know that the halftime Mavericks were up by a little bit, like 2 or 3 points, but then here in the fourth quarter I want to get to, because man, there were some big shots down the stretch. Spencer hit some shots before Luka came back in. They subbed him out. Seawood hit a 3 that was big for us late in the fourth quarter. Then all of a sudden the Nets go on a 7-0 run and go up 110 to 106. And I want to mention this. I didn't put this down in my notes, but I saw it on TV and I thought this. It was like at the 3-minute mark. We were down. It was at 110, 106. We were down, and you see the huddles. The Mavericks huddle, everybody's together, everybody's close, everybody's engaged, they're talking, they're listening in and stuff. Then they show the Brooklyn Nets huddle, and man, like KD's sitting in the middle. There's a seat on both sides of him where dudes are spaced out. Like, they don't want to sit too close to him, but they're kind of weirdly, awkwardly leaning in. Kyrie's standing up while the other 4 are sitting. Again, like KD's in the middle with 2 seats in between both before a teammate sitting, there's a seat on both sides of him, and then a teammate. And then Ben Simmons is awkwardly on the outside, like still next to his teammate, sitting right next to his teammate, but on like the very outside of the huddle, getting in. And to me, it just looks all awkward. Like, just as a fan, as a dude watching this, like, they just look awkward. And I just knew, like, they just don't have like the what do people like to say, the moxie, I just feel like they just don't have it to get past. Like, I just knew the camaraderie, the chemistry our team has. Like, I knew at 110, 106, like, we weren't, the game wasn't over. Like, I knew we were going to put up a fight. And I could just tell, I was like, man, this is the type of stuff they're gonna end up losing. Like this, the way they look like they should lose this game with the way they were looking on the court. And so it's crazy how it ended up being true, but it really did look at that in that moment. Just for Nets fans, like it's like, dang man, you got all this like talent and good, like kind of, you got 3-and-D guys and stuff, but just, the chemistry is just not there for that squad. Just doesn't look, there's something just off, like just a little bit off. And Luka ends up coming up back to the game. We're down 110-106. Luka ends up tying the game off of a layup, and then he gets fouled and gets some free throws. Ties the game up. Then Tim ends up getting a rebound, gets fouled on it, and gets free throws, puts the Mavs up 112-110. And then a little bit further down the game, Mavs are up. And Luka's dribbling the ball. All of a sudden, they double him. He tries to kick it back out to, I think it was Tim at the top. And Ben Simmons gets his hand on the ball. Great defensive play by Ben Simmons, who, just me personally, I want to see him do well. Like, you can mock him and all that stuff, but I just want to see a dude that's like 6'10", that's so athletic, like to do well. Like just at least, if he's not going to take jumpers, which I wish he would, if he was on my team or whatever, but just to see him be aggressive, and it was nice to see him get back, get a good defensive steal just as an NBA fan, not against the Mavs, but still, he got a steal, leads the break, dumps it right off to KD, who gets like a wide open lane dunk, fast break dunk, and the game's tied. Ends up going back to the Mavs for the last 8 seconds, and they get the last shot. Luka drives. He gets almost like triple team and kicks it right out to the opposite corner to Reggie Bullock, who just misses the three. They showed the replay like 2 or 3 times. And literally, if it was just like an inch, if you just took like an inch of oomph off of it, just a little bit of oomph off the ball, like just a little bit less strength on it, that would have been like nothing but net. But hey, that's it. It's a game of inches, just like what they say in football. It's a game of inches, and he misses it just by that much, and it goes off. So we go to overtime. And overtime, man, the lineup, which I wish I would have took real good note of the lineup. I had to go back and watch, but I'd like to do these pods right after to get my initial reaction, just like fresh thoughts while I'm still thinking them. Can't write everything down at one time. So, but in OT, we come out and the Mavericks have Kleba at center and Tim Hardaway Jr. at the 2. And I can't remember. I know at the end of the game they actually had Spencer out. Obviously, when I said, Tim had got the rebound and stuff, he had took Spencer out. So they went with a, Luka in overtime. They kept the Luka-Tim pairing along with the Bang Bros, Reggie and Dodo. And then at center, they had Maxi Kleba. And there's our dog Xena barking and making our first appearance on the pod. Xena, no ma'am. Sorry about that. But anyway, so we get back to, and we start Kleba at center and Tim at the 2. And you're thinking, no Christian Wood, no, none of that tonight, which, I'll go ahead and sidebar. C Wood tonight, guys, he only had 11 points. He was in big foul trouble with the whole. I was wondering what was going on. Then you see the foul line on the stat sheet, and he was up there. He had 5 fouls tonight. So wasn't able to do a whole lot offensively, being in foul trouble. So he's definitely just got to, it's one of those nights. He's got to work on it, because I know if he's out there, able to be out there just a little bit longer, like 6 more minutes added on to his time, and he can get some shots up and go off and have another 20 and 8-9 night, 20 almost 20 and 10 night, really again, that sucks to see. He was still +2, so I know he was doing good. Just got in unfortunate foul trouble, so didn't see him out there at the end. But hey, man, they go with what they know. They had Kleba out there, and he did well, man. Kleba did his thing. We're really just in overtime. Everyone did their thing, but whenever they did switch and put Kleba in at the end of the game, I think he was in at the end of the 4-2. Did well. Really always solid on the defensive end, and knows rotations, knows where to be. And then in overtime, everything just paid off. The same lineup that I just mentioned: Luka, Tim, the Bang Bros, and Kleba. Start off overtime, and I don't know what it was, but it was like as soon as our first possession, Luka hits this midi, and it was like floodgates just open. Luka hits this midi, then we come back down. Timmy does a pick and pop with Luka. Luka finds him. Timmy hits a 3. Next time around, Kleba hits a pick and pop. Luka hits him with a behind the back pass. Kleba hits a three. Next time down, Reggie comes on, six a pick and pop. Another behind the back pass to Reggie. Reggie hits a three. All these threes, Timmy, Kleba, and Reggie, all from the top of the key. Same pick and roll, pick and pop play, and they all hit a three from the top of the key. And at that point, after Reggie hits that third three, it's 123 to 114 in overtime, and it was just looked like Mavs were running away with this thing. A little bit later on the other thing, Luka hits a floater, makes it 125, 126. And then I feel like once Tim Hardaway made a backdoor cut, and I think it was Luka who was throwing it in and hit him off the sideline pass. It was either Luka or Kleba. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it would be Luka talking about the highlight. But it was, hits Tim backdoor off a sideline cut, or, from a side, throwing it from the sideline, and Tim backdoor from the top of the key to the basket, gets an easy wide open layup, makes it 127-120. I feel like game was just over after that. That was pretty much the game winner. KD comes out, hits a three, and they play the little free throw game. But yeah, it was the game after that. After Tim hit that backdoor, it was kind of like air let out the gym. Like, the air let out the ball, air let out the gym. They were like, dang. And Mavericks go on and basically win this game, 129-125. So a great team effort from this game. I didn't even know Facu Campazzo got minutes. I'm looking at the stat sheet. I didn't even know he got minutes. I guess that was in the first half when I missed it, because I know in the second half I didn't see him at all, which, again, they're at the hate to be the one to always keep saying this, but I'm going to keep bringing it up in case, people stop bringing it up, and it's got to be said, because it's, man, another ball handler / shot creator would be really nice on this squad. But because it always seems that, like, Spencer's, I feel like he's just like that third option kind of guy, where some night he's like an X factor, where you'll take what he gets, and then if he gets you more, like a 20-point game, then that's just extra. But we don't need to be dependent on him getting us like a 20 burger and stuff every night. He finished with 11 points tonight, 4 of 8, 3 of 5. He's very efficient shooting and whatnot, but he was a minus 20 in the plus minus. Defensively, not good. And just wish he would be, if he's going to be such a, if he's defensively, whether he's not, getting to the spots on time or whatever it is, I wish he would just be more aggressive offensively. Like, we're not seeing playoff Spencer Dinwiddie when he was being aggressive, dunking, like on Rudy Gobert and stuff, when we saw that late Utah series and something in that Sun series. It was, we need that Spencer to come around and get buckets for us. But overall, looking at the rest of the team, JaVale McGee still another 12 minutes, 8 points, only 3 rebounds. We should get a little bit more. 3 turnovers. I don't like that. He's got to play a little bit better. I think he needs to start picking it up, and that's why they're limiting his minutes. But again, he could play himself into shape. It's still early in the season. I still like the whole formula of him starting, just because he gives us that rebounding and defensive presence, and then we can always mix them in. And then you still got Seawood off the bench and Kleba and all that. But Dodo, Reggie tonight, solid defensively, often doing their best they can against these guys, especially Dodo guarding KD. It seemed like a lot of most of the game. So a lot of work there. Dodo only finished with 6 points. Reggie only 9 points. But of course, Reggie hits the shot deep late, and of course you got to shout out respect Dodo's defense all night, because he had to go with KD. And then you got Kleba off the bench with 33 minutes. This was a real almost playoff rotation, right? You had Dodo, Reggie getting 40 minutes, Reggie 42 minutes, Luka 41. Kleba off the bench with 33, Tim Hardaway 30. I think Jason Kidd did really well with the switching. He made the right calls. If you're looking back now, hindsight is always 20/20, and we got the win. But at the time, that sub for Tim, taking Spencer out, and then taking Seawood out and getting Kleba in there, and just leaving that in there to roll in the overtime. Like, that was big and huge, and ended up doing wonders for us, because Kleba comes off the bench, as I said, 33 minutes tonight, had 15 points. He had 3 threes, 4 or 5 from the field, 4 free throws he made, 4 out of 6. Did some good things, obviously defensively, staying in front of some guys, contesting some shots, and then hitting threes when he needed to. Tim Hardaway was a big guy tonight coming off the bench, 30 minutes from him.
He had 18 points. Defensively, still kind of getting there and stuff, but offensively, he was really solid, and we needed him, and did well for us tonight. So I'll give him a shot. A solid game for him. 6 of 13, 4 of 8 from three. A good shooting game for him. He had 2 blocks in there. Shout out Tim Hardaway getting 2 blocks. Timmer, as I like to say whenever he makes threes, man. Timmer. Seawood, as I said, man, he got into his foul trouble. But I know if he would have had like at least 5-6 more minutes onto his stat sheet, that's at least close to another 20-point game and doing solid if he just didn't get that foul trouble. Again, just going to see improvement by him because, of course, we'd love to see him in overtime out there instead of maybe Kleba. But, luckily Kleba is, always rock solid for us. And just wish, I want Seawood to get to that level where we just know he's going to be rock solid on defense. And then, obviously, what he brings to the offensive end, he would just, he's going to be the sixth man of the year if he stays in this role, as I said before. Like, it's just automatic. But, still like what he does. Stay aggressive, Seawood. Keep your head up. Josh Green, and then in the game tonight, had 3 threes. Josh Green made a sighting. 13 minutes, 10 points. Great job. And some great defense out there, too, as I saw. I seen some good stuff by him. But still, 3 threes. Made all 3 of them. Good stuff. 4 rebounds, an assist, a steal. Only 1 turnover. Good job by him. It was a +3. And that's pretty much, as I said, Facu Campazzo came in, got a steal, and has an assist. And that's pretty much it for the Mavericks, but is the overall view of the box score. But, as a team, the Mavericks played very well tonight. The defense at the end was really great, limited. It's hard to get a superstar to take a bad shot because every shot they take is pretty much a good shot. But, I mean, we made them double, have to, pump fake, dribble into a shot instead of just getting wide open, being in there, not contested shots, keeping a hand in their face, made it tough on them. They finished with 39-37. They were still hitting shots, but I mean, hey, it had to make it tough. They were doubling, and it was just their nights. They were hot, but luckily. The rest of the team wasn't, and they had Royce O'Neal had a couple wide open threes. I don't mean to bust on him, but I think he started to remember that Utah series from last year, and he was missing some wide open threes at the end, which again sometimes he makes it, but I just like to say that he got little gyps from the series last year. He maybe remembered like, oh man, it's a tough team, but man, great stuff by the Mavs tonight. That's pretty much all I see. Actually, let me look at the team stats real quick. I did not check the final team stats, actually. I know in the first half, the field goal percentage by Brooklyn was like something like 57%. They're just hitting all types of inside the 3-point shots, whether that was layups or whatever from the first half. So I knew that number was like yikes. But the Mavs actually finished shooting 50% and hold the Nets to 46%. So that's good defense in the second half, really. Limit them. They shot almost about the same amount of 3. We shot 5 more. We made 20. We made 50% of our 3s. They made 12. That's a big thing. 20. We made 23s tonight. That's pretty big. Free throws. Damn, that's a lot of free throws. They had 30. We had 35. They definitely hit the bigger percentage, but that wasn't a big difference. They actually out-rebounded us. That's crazy that they out-rebounded us, but they definitely did. Oh, on the offensive boards, too. I don't like that. Definitely everybody's got to start boxing out, man, because it seems like offensively you're thinking like, oh, we got some tall dudes. They'll get it, but no, we got to start putting body on. I feel like guys got to start putting body on body just to make sure we get the rebound because we don't want to have the team like last year, especially when we got the height now. Like we should be putting body. If we put body on body, we should get ending these defensive possessions like real quick. But when you let you don't put a body on, thinking the height is just gonna get the rebound, and the other team ends up getting the offensive board and second chance points. That just sucks. It's a Mav killer from our past. So assists. Mavs were moving the ball. I will give the Mavs credit. They were moving the ball real well. They were it was popping all over the place, especially even when Luka didn't have it and he was kicking it out. Guys were just moving the ball. It wasn't stale. Guys weren't looking tonight like, oh, what am I supposed to do with the ball? I got the ball. It seemed like everyone was very aggressive. They we're trying to make a move. Like Dodo caught it. He was always like, if he didn't get the three, he's pump fake. He's driving. He's, no hesitation. It's just a lot of things I like tonight, especially in the just overall how guys looked. Being aggressive and whatnot. Looking at the Bastia's turnovers, we had a little bit more turnovers. Okay, 18-15. Fast break points. They had 31 to our 10. Yeah, we definitely got to stop that transition, which is tough with this type of offensive unit they have. But, man, you got to get better with transition. Points in the paint, they beat us points in the paint. I'm sure that was a lot of the first half when it was, they're 57%. But, yeah, points in the paint. That was the only way they could really score. We were doing a real good job on the perimeter, especially with, again, like our height. People don't recognize, like, our height. We have a lot of height out there. And so a lot of lengthy arms out there, contested shots. So, teams have no choice but to try and drive on us, which is why we hope that Javal and C would be a little bit better. But, again, they'll get better. It's early in the season. Let them work their way into shape and the system. Everybody know where they're supposed to go. All in all, that's pretty much it. That's all I got for y'all. Appreciate it, and I'm trying to look up the Mavs next game. I know it's on Saturday, and I think it's the Thunder, and I'm pretty sure I'm right. Yep, it's Saturday. Yep, at 8 o'clock versus OKC here at home, so that should be a fun one. I will be 8 o'clock. I actually have a friend's yearly Halloween party, but I will definitely be watching this game. And afterwards, I will do a pod. It won't all be probably done on my phone, but I will still try and get a pod out for you, put out for y'all. So it won't be as beautifully done as I could do it now here at home. But when I'm out and away, I'm gonna still be watching the game as soon as it's over. I'll try to get a pod out and do that real quick for y'all, and then I'm gonna get back to the party and do my Halloween thing. And then the Mavs go into another game Sunday against Orlando. So these next two, and then the next game after that, Utah. So these next three, even though Utah is having a good game, good season so far, these next three games are kind of big for the Mavs. I call them get right games, especially when we just got one over Brooklyn with their two superstars, or really, if you whatever you want to count Ben Simmons, but at least two superstars in Kyrie and KD, and we handle business. Now we don't need to fall flat. We need to take these three games, and hopefully Coach Kidd will have them, show them that New Orleans game and be like, hell, we got to take these games serious. Look at, OKC, we see OKC, Orlando, Utah on the schedule, but, remember that New Orleans game, man. So I think that's a good thing. Hopefully they'll keep them all, in reminder. We, take these three games seriously and come out and are able to focus, really keen in and focus on our offense and our identity and making sure everybody's on the right rotations, really just focusing on the details of the game that, as a team that will make us successful and move on, later, just like we did last year. It was, the communication. We learned, the defensive system. We learned how to everybody just needs to, where they need to rotate and get to it on time. And so they get that right. These stretches like this against lower teams than us is where you get those things down packed. And then you go against a team like Brooklyn, like we did tonight, and you really put those things to test because you're going against really elite competition. So again, it's all full circle. So yeah, man, check out next game Saturday against OKC. So I'll get ready for that one. And if you want to follow on Twitter, it's at Mavs_rundown. This Mavs rundown is free on YouTube. The podcast is free on YouTube, and it's on Spotify and the Anchor app. And I'm AG. Thanks for listening. Remember, cool heads prevail, and I'll see y'all next time on the Mavs Rundown.